I'm a business consultant, and AI has changed everything. Now, specifically, I'm a certified exit planner. I help businesses and I help business owners build valuable companies that they can sell for high multiples. Like that's where I spend my time at. AI has absolutely changed the game, not only for in my world in consulting in the exit planning world, across the board for business consulting. Additionally, it has had a dramatic and drastic effect on how other service industries work. We're going to take a look at a couple example on where ad agencies are having to make adjustments, but also really looking at how AI is going to redefine the consulting industry in the coming years. But here's the thing. This is, let's just give you the straight answer to this entire talk up front. AI is not a threat to the business consulting world. It's an opportunity if you understand how to use it, how to leverage it, and why you still are gonna have plenty of customers who are going to be excited to work with you alongside and integrate AI, these large language models into their businesses. I see way too many people who are looking at this as like some sort of, I don't wanna say this here, apocalyptic event within the advice industry, which is what consulting is. And it's not. It really isn't. And I'm hoping more people are going to be willing to make the change, willing to take a look at these things and adapt versus what I'm seeing, which is they are, they're folding like a lawn chair across the entire industry, to be brutally honest on this. They don't understand why AI is actually a great thing and how to tailor it for their customers. And I'm going to give a couple examples of what I do with my clients a little bit later here. So let's get into it here. For those that don't know, again, my name's Ryan Howe, business consultant, business coach. I come live here on YouTube pretty consistently every single day, sharing information that I share with my clients, and I hope to earn your subscription. Now, the links to these articles are in the description, so be sure to go check them out. And um, I want to take a look at this piece here, and this is a little bit different, where they're talking about how it's going to redefine the consulting industry in the coming years. And what I'm using with artificial intelligence, these large language models, I work in Claude for the most part. There is some Chat GPT that I do use, but I spend my time in Claude for integration purposes, things of that nature. It allows us to niche down and provide such specific information to our clients that I don't know why more folks aren't doing it this way. And I know there are consultants out there and there are business coaches that are doing this. And I'm excited to see that there are these folks doing this. There needs to be more, and they need to understand this piece because what ends up happening here is it's going to redefine it. And if we're going to be able to tailor solutions, if you are currently working with a consultant or if you have a consultant around and they keep telling you like, well, that's just the way this is how the industry does it. Here's the thing, and they can only hand you like this uh, a basic form or the same cookie cutter way to do things. I They're a dinosaur, folks. They really are. Even if you trust them and trust their advice, they're a dinosaur at this point. The advice that I give now with my clients is so tailored and so specific because of the use of the large language models. What I was doing last year is I might as well have been doing it 50 years ago. My model has completely changed, and frankly, I've turned over more clients this last year because of what I want to be able to provide and what they're looking for. They're not the same thing. I found them better. I found them more niche specific niche consultants and programs to work with than me. All right. So that's what I mean. Like I can really niche down and say these are the exact type of clients that I'm meant to help. And these large language models are there. That's what I mean when they talk about here where consultant industry can faster insights for sure, but tailored solutions. And this is the same for all service-based industries. We're gonna take a look at, another one where the ad agencies and just in the advertising and marketing industries. There's a huge shift that's coming that they have to make the change now. If you don't change the way things are doing, the way you're doing your work, you might as well just go on and give up on it at this point because you're not going to make it there. Because there's others who are coming up behind you who are who are either building their ad agencies or reconstructing their ad agencies with AI first, with the specific niche level stuff rather than the standard framework. that you make all of the clients work in, right? Everything is being, I like to say, is decentralized, client focused nodes of work is what's happening versus one size fit all or one size fits most. We don't want that. Now, when we talk about the insights here, we're gonna go through the highlights here, and then I'm gonna cover again kind of what I'm doing with my clients here. So AI will deliver faster data backed insights. The caveat on this, folks, is when we're seeing this, they are producing AI. You have services. This would be lawyers. Again, I see it in law firms. I see it definitely in the consulting world. I see it in ad and get marketing, ad agencies, HR for sure. What they are doing is they're saying, "Hey, Chat GPT, do the thing," and they get all of this really great data back that they have not vetted and validated. So that is one of the big pieces that I'm seeing here is that right now folks are just believing what the when they're looking for data, they're believing what the AI is bringing them without going back and the validation. So that's one of the steps here that I'm working with my clients. And again, when we talk about your role as a consultant, my role as a consultant is and business coach is to make sure that not only do I give them good coaching on how, on recommendations on things that they should work on, it's also to give them the data to support that. And you cannot take the data that you're getting from these large language models as you know, um, as gospel. You can't say that they're sacrosanct. You have to go and validate them. Think of these large language models, folks, as nothing more than Wikipedia. It's a great resource. You still got to double check all your stuff. Okay. So again, data back, but we also got to validate it. Client solutions become hyper personalized. When I'm working with my specific clients, when I'm working with my specific clients, one of the things that I have is I create within the large language model. I have a tailored uh, prompt that I use to on each one of the projects that I have for my clients, where we go in and I make it very specific about who this client is, what we're working on, all the details that I have about them, within client specification, obviously, and we got to make sure that we're managing information, right? So things that we can release, things that we can't. So when I go in, I'm able to work with my prompts and give access to these customers, to my clients, to the same project. So we are working in and out of this project constantly to make sure that it is specifically focused to them. So we have best practices that come in and they're able to come in and learn how to use the large language model. I'm in there with them and helping to consult and guide them through using it as well as how to integrate with their business. I'm not last thing I want to do is say, "Hey, don't use this tool, this amazing tool that's out here to help you." I've now used it. I've integrated AI within my entire service suite. It's the core fundamental piece. Case in point, I used to have a virtual assistant who would help me out with some of my work and I've gotten rid of them. They no longer I've been able to cut that virtual assistant out because my large language model manages my email and my inbound prospects in a way that it already builds everything out for me, and I can start from scratch. Well, not from scratch. I can start with the foundation already built in the large language model, right? And that's the thing when you're dealing with consultant and when you're looking with your consult, so if you're a business owner, if you are looking to in an executive right now, you're looking to hire in a business coach, a consultant for your firm, if they do not lead with, "Hey, I work in this I use projects, and we are going to be working out of these projects to help you and your team better manage these things," you need to think twice about hiring them in. Period. Dot. Okay. It needs to be as it puts here, hyper personalized and specific to your organization. Every one of my clients, we have specific. I mean, it is down to the nuance that the differences between the clients is crazy. Okay, so we want to make sure that's a thing. All right. Next thing they have on here, which I thought was interesting, was strategy planning will be AI simulated and tested. So when we are looking at when I come with my clients, right, and we are having discussions about once we've gotten past the initial, client avatars, ideal piece there, we get into our overall strategy and strategic plan, but also our operational execution strategies, how we're actually going to meet the needs of our clients. We do testing on this because I will set up we create AI, I want to say agents per se, but it's another. project where I build out those AI individuals for our ideal clients, and we have conversations with them back and forth to test that they are actual the responses that we would be providing for them are useful to them. It isn't 100% obviously solution, but it gives us a chance to test. And what do I mean by that? So you can go when you are dealing with your large language models, with your Claude, with your Chat GPT, whoever it is, you can say, okay, listen, you are the following: a 35-year-old mother of three, part-time employed, such and such, all of the client details, our ideal client. And it says, "Okay, what do you got?" And then we will give it, "Hey, here's how the solution we would like to provide for you," whatever it happens to be in the service world or manufacturing, whatever it is. And we say, "Hey, how well would this meet your needs?" It will provide feedback as if it is that individual. Now, is it 100%? Of course not. But it does give us that first test. So we can then test our assumptions, see where we're at, and then we adjust before we go start putting this in front of customers for the real live feedback. If you as a business, and this is the thing where I'm talking about this, where in the consulting world where they're not using this, they're afraid to use it in this way because it might replace me. Ladies and gentlemen, my job is to provide value. It's not to restrict value from the customers. And if you have consultants that don't understand that our job is to provide value, not to restrict value, again, think twice about who you're working with. I'm not worried about being replaced by AI because I'm utilizing these AIs. And that's what consulting needs to make that adjustment to. So again, we can simulate and test in real time. It's good stuff. All right, repetitive tasks to be fully automated. Like I mentioned, uh, I was actually able to cut some of my fees because I've been utilizing AI. Where what I was paying for, I mentioned the virtual assistant. Now it's what used to take 16 hours of work is done in 7 minutes with my large language models as far as what I've done with coding and integration. 16 hours to 7 minutes. That means I've been able to reduce some of my fees, which again, those savings I passed on to my clients. That's what I'm talking about here. We got fully automated, and that's what you want to have. So let's, um, as I make the adjustment here over to where I just want to be able to show also within the service industries, the same things are happening at the uh, other services. So, for instance, we're going to take a real quick look at some ad agencies, what's happening there, and then once we get through that, I'm going to talk a little bit more about what this means for my customers as well too, because I have service customers, like clients of mine that are service based, and how we're using AI in very similar manner. So what I'm recommending for everyone before we get into this piece here with marketing, you should be looking at what every other industry is doing and seeing what you can take over to your business. Consultants are no different. Right? The way that we used to do things, and it always bothered me too with a lot of consultants, the consulting firms, they made it like they were some sort of magic black box, right? That this here you have to work in our very specific system that we really can't articulate to you. And that's always bothered me. We want to have something that's a lot more, like I said, niche down and specific for you. All right, so let's take a look here. This is an example. I have some prospects that I'm working with that just, we're still dating. I'm researching what they're doing, what's best in their industry, and so I've already sent this over to a prospect this morning, specifically about some of the changes that are going on in pricing, as well in the ad agencies. So let's take a look. They're talking about how they're actually pricing stuff out. Additionally, this is going out to my businesses, my other clients that I have, for them to have discussions with their marketing firms that they're working with to have a deeper discussion about what they're actually paying for and what they're getting. Okay, so in this case, uh, the shift here is shifting from billable hours to outcome-based tiered subscription to hybrid AI models, right? What they're finding in this piece here is value-based. I have to deliver certain numbers or I don't get paid. That's what's occurring right now because with all of the data that we're able to get from on the marketing side, we should be able to tie in if I do X, it's going to deliver Y. If it doesn't deliver Y, then why am I paying for it? That's what's happening right now in real time. We talk about the pricing models evolving. Again, subscription based. I'm seeing this more. And if you're not doing subscription based as a service, somewhere in the business services world, you're wrong. I just want to put that out there. You need to switch to a subscription based. um, for any number of reasons, but also just because of how quickly things are moving. If you want to be able to adapt and serve your customers better, having a subscription model means that you are not having to negotiate a new project that comes up. It's just understood. Hey, we had some new work come up. Hey, let's meet and let's go get after it. We don't have to have conversations about the pricing. Right? Does that make sense? It should, right? And then performance-based agreements, tiered pricing, you get certain things, escalating features. I have tiered services that I offer, one-on-one coaching. There's one-on-one entrepreneur, one-on-one executive. Then I have one-on-one just business owner, period. And then I have where I do my senior executive level and board coaching, which is a full different tier into itself. Now, hybrid or custom solutions, right? So again, just keep this straight here. What's going on in the AI world at the moment has completely fundamentally changed all of the industries. And I'm not saying anything new here. I'm aware of that. The issue is that folks aren't changing. In the business world, you guys, there's a vast majority of people are not changing. Those folks who are unable to make the changes that need to then integrate AI and use and not be afraid of, oh no, customers have figured out how to use AI. I am now extinct as far as my services that I offer. That's your fault. That's your fault in the industry. Your job is to provide value to your customers and your clients. If you can't do that in a world where now AI exists, you probably shouldn't be in the business. That's period dot. That's where that's at. So there's no reason to complain about it. So my advice to my clients on this has been very straightforward. We are going to find ways to integrate large language models and AI into everything that we do, not to let people go. We want to integrate AI where we can so then we can have our people that we do have hired more productive in the areas where we need people. Like we need gray matter in that creativity, not in the world of data analytics and repetitive processes, which is where large language models work. Additionally, I am working with my clients to make sure every one of them has a large language model that is built around their ideal clients. So we can ask questions to that and then get those responses back as our clients would have. Okay. So that's kind of my advice. Again, the idea behind this entire video today was simply just saying that consulting is as it was yesterday is no more. What we're going to be doing for consulting is fundamentally shifting. And if you're not prepared to be able to manage those things in a world of large language models, you are already out of business. You just don't know it yet. Okay. Again, for those individuals who are interested in learning more about how I help businesses grow faster than they ever thought possible and build businesses that buyers want to purchase for high multiples, you can go check out a link down below to the value builder system that I use. Takes about 15 minutes. Go fill that thing out. You will get information on the 8 key drivers of business growth that I work with my clients on to help them be able to have their businesses ready to sell. All right. So with that, take care, everybody.